Jesus Christ, man. Oh, how you doing? It's been so hot. Yesterday and today, I get home, I just fall asleep like around 5 till today, like 8:30. So like 3.5 hours. I'm still a little groggy, but decided to do a video of a movie I watched. I was just, I was just like, just go back to sleep, but then I don't know, maybe if I could, but I don't want to. I wrote a letter. I want to read little, listen to some music, because so I'm just gonna sleep. So just get on with it. I started reading Dark Angel by Donna Ball. It's not bad, not great, but it's like a quick read. I've already read. Well, it's actually taking like 4 days to read 130 pages. Oh man, but it's moving along. And I found those VHS. I left them at my friend's house. I got a Problem Child, Morgan Stewart's Coming Home. Remember, in the beginning, it shows like all of his horror movie posters. He has a zombie movie poster. I remember, and something I've never heard of: The Pursuit of D.B. Cooper with Treat Williams and Robert Duvall. What the hell is this? Never heard of this. I like Treat Williams, and it's great. It kind of looks like Steve Martin on the cover to me with brown hair. But yeah, I was like, at first I thought this was like a documentary, which was still been cool, but it's a movie and it's like a comedy from I don't know what year it is. It says 92, but it just seems older than that. But yeah, I really want to watch this one. All of them. Never seen Problem Child. I got it because it has Gilbert Godfrey, and because that's the movie they're watching in Cape Fear when Robert De Niro's smoking a cigar and laughing at them. So I'm gonna review Maniac from 1980. This is a movie someone requested. Well, Video Massacre requested it. I finally watched it. I know my friend Dustis. He's a big Joe Spinell fan, but I think a lot of people that know horror and just classic movies might know who Joe Spinell is. I mean, he's in The Godfather, Rocky, and Taxi Driver. And he's I think he's memorable in all three. And if he had just done those, I mean, man, he'd be like cemented in movie history. But he did a lot of other movies, and I looked it up. I was man, I don't remember. I should have wrote him down, but he's been in a lot of movies, mostly minor roles. But he was the star of Maniac. So Maniac, I do have like a history with it. When I can't remember the years, man. I wish I could remember the years, but it was. I'm pretty sure I bought the VHS from Suncoast Video, and I was really excited because I'd always heard of it. Like for me, Maniac was a movie I could just never could rent and never saw it anywhere. Wonder why. So finally, I bought it, and the VHS. It was an Anchor Bay, and it had like a flap on the back. That I don't know. I spilled something on it, and it got stuck. I think I spilled soda on it. I'm pretty sure. So it got stuck, and I had to rip it open, and it destroyed it. It was pretty. And actually, I don't even think I knew the flap opened. I think I destroyed it before I even knew there was a flap. So stupid. And like I said, I was really stoked because I heard so much about the gore effects and just how great it was. And I watched it, and I was pretty let down, I thought, the first viewing. just so slow. I, I, I thought, I think it's just you're just watching Joe Zito. It's weird because that's the director's the guy who directed like The Prowler and like Invasion USA. I think he did the Missing in Action movies. He did a lot of action movies. Joseph Zito. That's his name. He did. Oh, and he did Friday the 13th Part 4. So I wonder if him and Lustig were friends and he named him after. He named the killer after the director. So the very first scene you see, there's a couple on the beach at night and they're sleeping. I guess they were just hanging out. Now that I think about it, it's weird that they just fell asleep. Fell asleep on the beach, and the maniac gets him. He cuts the girl's throat, and he gets the guy with like a garrote. Decent opening, but there's just some grimness to this. And again, like I was thinking about it, I don't like movies like this anymore, really, where it's just. I'm trying to think of a slasher movie where it's. Well, like Argento's. Those are just aren't as realistic. They're not as dour and ugly and mean. And this is just one mean mother of a movie, man. Joe Zito, Spinell's character is just completely in his own world. You just in his apartment. He's got dolls and mannequins, and he talks to himself. I guess he's talking to his mother. And so I was really paying attention this time to see like what was it that I didn't like about it. As I was paying attention, I was like, man, he's got a lot of dolls. And then I never noticed that he's looking at his chest. I guess his mother would burn him with cigarettes. This is all about his mother. Yeah, it's like Psycho in that regard, or Ed Gein, where his mother. I don't know how I read this. Like his mother died in a car wreck, and she was a prostitute, and she would lock him in the closet when she would do her tricks, and she would abuse him. So yeah, that just totally messed him up, and he's just killing his mother over and over again. It seems like because he kills one girl and he's just talking to her like his mother, and he chokes her and he scalps her. It's a prostitute. Everything's just real matter of fact. It's weird because it makes me think of Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, but they're not the same. They are the same, but they're not. They're very different. Which is, I'm thinking, why don't I like this? Because I do like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, and I might even watch it again, but it is just so bleak and horrible and just filthy with like murderous human, and Maniac is just like that. It had me thinking of American Psycho and even The Joker, because it's just even more. It's like even more. I guess it's even more into the killer's head, because you're just with him pretty much the whole movie. It's more isolating, and yeah, I just didn't like that. But Spinell's good. They always comment how sweaty he is. Maybe he's just oily. And I don't like the character of Joe, but Spinell is good in it. He's really good, and he's likable. And then there's a part where this lady takes a picture of him in the park, and he follows her home. I can't remember if he does. I think he follows her home, knows where he lives, and then goes and like just knocks on her door and says, "Yeah, you took a picture of me in the park the other day. I would like to see it." And I was like, "Oh, that's weird," but she's cool with it. And he totally changes. You see that nice, God, what's the word? A charismatic side to him. He becomes just a total, like, kind of how he is maybe in like Rocky and The Godfather. There's something easygoing about him that he can just turn on and off like that. So that was scary. but it almost has no story. It's just him. It starts. I thought maybe he had been killing before, but no. They even said on the news like 5 murders. So at least it starts when he starts killing, and it ends with his killings. Too. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. Yeah, I don't want to spoil all the kills. The ending is very gory and gruesome. Of course, you must have seen or heard of like the shotgun blast to the head. That still is shocking. And there's some other parts that are you stabbing. I don't know why it doesn't bother. There's some movies where I like it and cheer for it, and then there's a movie like this where I knew it was coming and it still made me wince. Some parts made me wince, and some parts, like the jump scare. One jump scare got me a little bit. I mean, I didn't like throw my popcorn like in a movie theater or something, but I knew it was coming and it still kind of got me. So that's good. But I thought the ending was good, like a really good ending. I knew what it was and I never really thought about it, but watching it again, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. It's only like an hour and 26 minutes. Special effects are great by Tom Savini. Well, yeah, it also made me think of oh god, what's it called? Nightmare in a Damaged Brain, or just Nightmare. Which I think I like Nightmare in a Damaged Brain better than Maniac, but why? Those are almost the same. Some other movies, The Prowler. The Prowler is pretty like, except for the kills, it's pretty dry and boring too. But I think I like The Prowler better than this. So it's just weird. I don't know what it is. I mean, I like Joe Spinell better, of course. Oh yeah. Some other facts like on the trivia, Argento. Oh my god. Argento was involved. I mean, he didn't get involved, but he was almost going to be involved. And Goblin was going to do the score. Which would have been cool, but I thought the music was pretty good anyway. Joe Spinell wrote the story. I think he had help from Bill Lustig, but he wrote a lot of it. And he was going to do a sequel with Buddy Giovanazzo of American Nightmare, A Combat Shock. That I would have wanted to see. Yeah, I like American Nightmare, Combat Shock. And that's... Actually, no, I think Maniac is bleaker and uglier than Combat Shock. You're just in the head of a psycho killer, and it's just, you don't want to be in there. Yeah, he's just really bad, dude. Even though I did feel sorry for what happened to the child of him, but I mean, how do you stop? There's in the movie The Cell with Jennifer Lopez. I can't remember his name. He says, like, they're talking about trauma that children go through and how it affects them. And he says, I believe a child can go through the worst pain ever imagined, and torture and all that stuff, and they will grow up and they will never hurt another living human being. And I always thought about that. I think, yeah, everyone that's hurt when they're a child, like severely damaged, doesn't grow up to be a murderer. I hope so. And it's just, it's so horrible. To watch this movie that's about someone that was hurt when they were a child and they grew up and became a killer and hurt other people. So yeah, it's just too much. It's just too heavy a subject to watch. And I know, like, people like true crime, and if you like true crime, you would gush over this. You need to mop to clean up after yourself if you really like this kind of stuff. And I guess I do. I like 7. I think I'll watch 7 again. Yeah, oh yeah, it made me think of 7. I guess 7's, yeah, yeah, Seven is one of the best movies I've ever seen, and it's just so horrible. Maniac isn't far behind that. It's really good. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. Maybe you'll like it. I would think I might watch it one more time because I did like it a little. I liked it like a little, like 3% better than last time. Yeah, it's not a movie. Yeah, it's not a movie I would throw on just like a Marvel movie or even like a Hong Kong horror. But then maybe I could. I don't see why not. But yeah, it's just very, very dark film. I'll give it a. Just for me, I can only give it a solid 3 out of 5. I know that's it, just because of how like boring it is at times and slow. The movie looks cool. I actually like the way it looked. I watched it on Amazon Prime. I like the way it looked better than my VHS looked. It looked a little grainier and grimier, which for me added. I don't know. Maybe I would watch it like in 4K restoration someday. Yeah, I might watch Maniac one more time. I don't know about the remake. That's a whole nother bag of worms, a can of worms. But yeah, Maniac. Told you not to go out tonight. So that's it. Maniac, man. Oh, and I started watching. After that, Spinell was in a movie called The Undertaker, and that's on Prime. I don't know. Maybe I'll review it. It's not that good so far. But yeah, I wasn't gonna do this. I'm gonna stay up. I don't know how late I'm gonna stay up. I gotta be at work at 7, so we'll see what happens. And maybe I'll see you tomorrow.